What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Rangers Central. And the Rangers beat the Anaheim Ducks 2-1 in Game 8 of the regular season. Before we jump into everything here, on your way into the show, leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live, and all that other stuff. And yeah, this was an interesting game because there were things to love. There were things to absolutely despise. I don't love getting in a dogfight with the Anaheim Ducks, especially, but there were things that I did like, especially a guy in Ryan Lindgren, who people will say hate, but I've definitely been one of his bigger critics lately. He steps up, has himself a big game, and then again the second line continuing to thrive offensively, being the catalyst. Phil Peedle again having another quality game. There are a lot of things to like, but then there's things to not like, considering the fact that they were sloppy with the puck at times, considering the fact that they couldn't execute breakouts at points. But we got a lot to get into here with this post game. But yeah, I already did the intro, but so let's just I can't talk right now. Let's just jump into everything because there's a lot to dissect here, because this game was just so weird. It was a weird game. I'm trying to understand why this team at points is capable of moving the puck so efficiently and capable of generating chances off the cycle, generating or just forechecking in general, doing all the little things and moving the puck up the ice through the neutral zone. And then at the flip of a switch, it's just like they forget how to do it. I don't understand how that happens, but it happens with this team. And that's really what it comes down to. Is this was a tale of, like, every period was a tale of two periods, to be honest with you, man. Like, it was a decent first period. Like, they started off the game at least a little bit better than they have in the previous few games. Like, the second line got a couple quality opportunities. They didn't allow too much in their own end, at least quality-wise. They allowed a bit of pressure every now and then, but they didn't allow too much quality opportunities. And they did have a power play there, which I think it's high time we switch out the power play, isn't it? Because at what point do we realize that Mika Zibanejad is a non-factor on the power play? I mean, they generate virtually nothing on the power play. I'm trying to understand why Zach Jones isn't on the second power play, because Keandre Miller, I mean, the second line starts the cycle, or the second unit rather, and here's Keandre Miller fumbling the puck at the blue line. I'm trying to understand why we can't make tweaks here to the power play in terms of the personnel, considering they're 1 for their last 10. So the whole don't fix what's not broken type mentality is kind of going out the window, because something is broken right now with this power play, and there does need to be at least considerations of a change if this continues. And I think they should make a change, but I also get that they're not going to make a change at all. So yeah, it kind of is what it is on that front. But yeah, like, that first period was okay. I thought the offense was not doing a great job in terms of getting to the front of the net, and that's something that Phil Housley apparently talked about, because we heard during after the second intermission, it was John Giannone, I think, talking about how Phil Housley was not happy about that. And I agree, because I don't understand this team's inability sometimes to get to the middle of the ice. They didn't generate as much quality opportunities as they could have in that first period, because of the fact that they're cycling along the perimeter. And the second period started off that way too, and they also invited some pressure. And I'm sitting here thinking, is this team like only capable of scoring off the rush? Because I don't understand why they have such an inability to generate off the cycle. But then things shifted as the period progressed, the second period that is. They started to actually generate opportunities, and I was like, holy shit, this is what we need to see from this team going forward. Like, there was one opportunity where Edstrom makes a play along the boards, Carrick gets a chance, and then Brodzinski on the rebound getting an opportunity, and they're chasing the rebounds more often, and they were actually getting in on the forecheck, the second line even. Like, I'm seeing Panarin starting the forecheck a little bit, and that's the type of play they needed more of. But again, I don't know why it took them so long. And then they were doing the little things right too. Like, they were starting to actually move the puck more efficiently up the ice, and you were seeing a lot more crisp breakouts. You were seeing them generate rush opportunities at the very least too, like Filipino splitting the defenseman yet again, or getting finding some open ice to get some breakaway opportunities. But again, they just couldn't bury any of those opportunities, but at least they were generating more of it. And then out of nowhere, like halfway through the second, the flip of a switch, just snap of the finger, they forget how to play hockey, and they forget how to break the puck, or move the puck up the ice rather, and the neutral zone play, sloppy. Fast forward to the third period, they open up the scoring relatively early, and Ryan Lindgren, hell of a freaking shift from Ryan Lindgren, which, again, he played great today, but there was some sloppy puck movement beforehand, but Panarin in the D zone gets at the Fox. They break up the ice, and then Panarin along the goes below the goal line, I should say, and he ends up losing it a little bit. But Lindgren steps up, makes a play, gets it back to Panarin. Panarin feeds Lindgren in front, also tapped by Lafreniere, so he gets his point going a little bit, his point streak. I think he's on a point streak yet again, but regardless, gets a point again, and then Lindgren in the slot buries it. We have a 1-0 game, and then all of a sudden, I mean, they just struggled a little bit. They started to play a little bit more on their heels yet again, lent some opportunities. I mean, Zellweger had like 3 shots on goal in one shift there. Then the Rangers get a 3-on-1. I'm watching them move the puck so slowly. Like, why can't they be quicker in transition, quicker on the rush for a team that I was just saying thrives mostly off the rush? But then they did end up scoring it again. A great up the ice pass. I think it was actually by Trouba. And then it ends up getting in the hands of Filipino, and Will Cooley ends up burying his own rebound there. They review it though, offsides. And then later on, yet again, a great pass, first pass out of the zone from Miller. Kaapo Kakko fights off a check. Then he feeds it over to Fox to Miller, and then Hedl gets Dostal out of his net a little bit, and then Cooley ends up getting there. Looked like a kick-in, which it should have been called a kick-in. I don't know the rules anymore. It is so terrible how there is so much gray area with the kick-in motion. I would have called that a kick. I thought that was clearly a kick, but hey, I'm not complaining because this game would have went to overtime, and who the hell knows what would have happened. But that made it 2-0 at the end of the day, and it is what it is. And then the goal that the Ducks scored pissed me off because you have Mika Zibanejad being lackadaisical in the neutral zone, and then Leo Carlsson just gets by Miller a little bit, gives it over, and Adam Fox can't tie up Zellweger in front of the net, who ends up tapping that one in. And again, they invited so much pressure there throughout that third period, and it was just infuriating to watch. Jonathan Quick has to stand on his damn head, make save after save, and they eventually hold on to win. There was a lot of slop in this game, man, and I don't love that. I don't love how much slop there was, especially in the neutral zone, which Phil Housley also was talking about, the neutral zone play. I mean, I've been screaming about how much it's been infuriating me this entire season thus far, but it just feels like progressively it is getting worse throughout the season, and that's something that cannot continue to happen. You got to win tonight, great, but stop playing so loose in the neutral zone. It needs to be tightened up there because it is just unacceptable. But yeah, in the D zone too, playing on their heels a little too much. But in terms of the good stuff, I mean, the third line continues to be unbelievable. I mean, the third line has just been killing it all season long on both ends of the ice. Filipino, I thought, again, was the best forward out there tonight because at one moment he's back checking and making beautiful plays in the D zone, closing off passing lanes or taking the puck away, and then he's carrying it up the other way and somehow blowing by defenders and creating opportunities for himself. So he looked freaking great yet again, and Will Cooley yet again looked great. Kakko looked pretty solid as well. But again, there was also one play, though, that I didn't love from Kakko in that third period where in the D zone, he's just puck watching, and Cam Fowler ends up getting a wraparound opportunity because of it, which Quick was able to get the pad on, but didn't love that play from Kakko in particular. But yeah, that third line continues to be good. The second line offensively, again, continues to be good, generating the most opportunities. I don't understand why Panarin's able to absorb contact so much when he's playing literally any team but contending teams, it just does not make sense. And I get people will say, but the better teams play tighter defense. While that is true, there is also truth to the fact that the Ducks have solid players in their own right to put out there against Artemi Panarin. And, he's not afraid to take contact from a guy like Radko Gudas all night, but for some reason he's intimidated by Carter Verhaeghe at points. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. It is what it is. But yeah, the first line did not do anything, though. I mean, if we're going to go back to the bad, the first line, yikes, vomit-worthy play from them. Yet again, pretty much the entire night. Kreider just looked disinterested at points. Mika as well. Didn't love that. Miller gave you another up and down game. It just makes no sense to me, the Keandre Miller thing. Makes no sense because at one point he's coughing the puck up in the corner and it's creating an opportunity for the Ducks. And at another point, he's making the beautiful outlet passes to set up the opportunity for this team to score. There's literally zero in between with this guy. It's either he's making the best defensive plays and the best puck moving plays you'll see of your life, or he's making pee-wee hockey mistakes. It is infuriating. Ryan Lindgren, way better night from him. Fox, I thought, was decent. I thought Jones looked good after being scratched. I thought he played a solid game for the most part. Schneider, again, looked really good, and he looked rough a little bit at the start of the game, but there is truth to the fact that he was playing the left side the first few games, and he had to readjust to playing the right side. I thought he settled in nicely, blocked the passing, or it might have been a shot, I think. Yeah, no, it was Vetrano on that 2-on-1 that ended up going for the shot that he ended up blocking. I thought that was great. He had a couple of very solid plays, and there was a lot of times where Jones maybe was jumping up a little too far into the plays, and Braden Schneider did a good job in terms of breaking up those opportunities. So thought he played well. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting to talk about anything at all. I'd have to look at the notepad here, of course, with that one, but yeah, I think I covered everything. Sloppy puck movement, playing on their heels a little bit too much at points, but second period offense was freaking great early on at least, and then don't know what happened. Third period was a little weird. And then I did forget to even mention, which the amount of that happened in the second period, the chaos with Gudas just freaking leveling Sam Carrick. Then you have Edstrom having a big hit. At some point, he ended up fighting McTavish after throwing a hit on Killorn. Oh, here's another little play that I forgot to mention. As much as I rip on the second line for their terrible play in their own end, and believe me, it made me want to pull my hair out again tonight, shout out to Panarin, who made a beautiful play later on in this game on Alex Killorn, who was wide open for a tap-in at the doorstep. And here's Artemi Panarin getting back there on defense, making a beautiful play to keep that away. And I thought that was really something you could look at as a potential game saver there, because this game would have went to overtime if Panarin's not there. So got to give credit to him being on the back check there. But yeah, in terms of anything else, I think I covered about everything. Yeah, they just have to clean up some of the play. I mean, the neutral zone, they're trying way too much of the east-west movement in the neutral zone, and it's just not working. And sometimes they're just not, sometimes it's just not moving the puck quickly. Sometimes it's just a lack of foot speed in general, which is also really annoying. But I think I covered pretty much most of my topics here, most of the points that I wanted to cover here. A nice little win. You beat the Ducks, which you should be doing, but you gotta see way better against against some other teams, because there are teams that if you play like this, they would have easily lost. And that's where it's interesting, where they go into Washington on Tuesday night, who is actually playing respectable hockey this season. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But yeah, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Leave a like if you have not already, by the way. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But yeah, I'll get to the chat in just a second here. Sorry, just buying a little bit of time here. Sorry. Um, let's see. Why is Mika the way he is? I have no clue. Quickie, nice one. Nice win. Mika sucks. Game was a little too close for comfort in terms of the scoring, at least. Got the dub, though. Yeah, I agree with that. Glad to see Jones out there tonight. Agree with that. You're at the game, Nick. I almost ended up going to this game, but I didn't end up going. First period was too much perimeter play. Needed to get to the ice more. Yeah, I agree with that. They did not get to the areas they needed to early on in this game. What do you think of Jones instead of Mancini? I like Mancini, but it was the right move. It was the right move. Sends it badge out to Guantanamo. Yeah, laugh with the stat padding assist. Yeah, I can't lie. It was an entertaining game. Yeah, I'll say that. It was probably our first cardiac Rangers affair of the season, would you say now? Probably the first one. I would argue it was. The KFC line, I love that. That's hilarious. The KFC line, that's a great one for that third line. I'm gonna start using that. Shout out to you, Chris. That's a good one. Yeah, it was obviously off, but the effort by Cooley was great there. Yeah, this is what I don't understand either, is that Mika too, it applies, but Miller could play brilliantly 50% of the time and then also play like dog shit the other 50%. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I saw that. I don't get it. I would second this too. Filipino looks a lot better than Mika right now. Mika just looks completely disinterested, and it's annoying. Power play should undergo two things: a personnel change and a formation change. I don't know why we aren't using the power play formation in the preseason with 3 down low and 2 up top. It worked well. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Instead, they try this stationary crap that they've been doing for the past few years, and it's just predictable at this point. They need to be yeah, pretty much what I just said. Yeah. The cycle, yeah, they have to be able to cycle better than when they do it 5-on-5. Um, I've said that I wouldn't mind if they did, but they're not going to. Ducks have a bright future, good young talent. Yeah, that's true. But right now, I mean, this is a team that you should be beating. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Filipino centering the top line. I get the results are there, but I still wouldn't mind a little shakeup with that. But it's, again, not going to happen. It's Mika bashing time. That first line plays with no speed and way too much east-west play. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much what I was saying before. They just don't pin opposing lines in consistently. It's really concerning, yeah, and it's a problem. It's really a problem. I don't understand why they have this inability to do that, and I don't understand the lack of speed too. Like a guy like Chris Kreider, there was one point that he gets the puck, and instead of cutting to the net with it, he just fires a shot from above the dot, and it's like, why? Use your foot speed. Islanders blew another lead. Damn. Yeah, I think Lafreniere was fine from that hit he took. Kreider got hurt today too. Yeah, I know he blocked that shot at one point. Mika passing up way too many shots. He's also passing up opportunities to get to the net. Like, as much as I just said about Kreider, Mika too. There was one point in this game where he has an opportunity to drive to the net, and instead he's just, nope, instead decides to take a shot that was easy for the goalie to save. Just does not make sense. Really doesn't make a lick of sense to me. He needs to be better. I mean, it's just infuriating at this point. It's becoming a nightly conversation. That's really what it comes down to. Unfortunately. I don't know why they don't split Mika and Kreider. That's what I don't get either, especially considering the fact that there's been over 20 different wingers to play with the two of them since Zuccarello departed. So I don't get that either, but with the results here, they're not going to switch up the lines. That's the problem here. But who knows? Maybe things shift. I don't know. Mika's a crappy 3C with the way he's been playing lately. You're honestly not wrong. He's not even playing good in his own end right now. That's the thing. Can the Yanks rally? I don't know. I said that the Dodgers were gonna win this series. We'll see though. Obviously, things could still shift with that, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I like Edstrom's game a lot too. His foot speed is unbelievable for a guy with his build. Yeah. I like Edstrom's game a lot. I think the fourth line's freaking. I think the fourth line again was solid for the most part. I would say at least. I think the fourth line played pretty good. Edstrom's speed and reach truly makes me think he could poke the puck away from everyone. Yeah. He's just Adam Edstrom, and we saw it when he got games last year, that he has the foot speed. He's able to play a quality 200-foot game. He's able to throw the body. He does quite literally everything that you want from a fourth liner, and I cannot understand still why they refused to play him down the stretch last year. It just makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense why they decided to not play him when he was clearly the more polished player than Matt Rempe. And again, this isn't to knock Rempe because I do like Rempe, but it's clear who the more polished player is, and they should have opted to go with Edstrom down the stretch. Once I think the answer's simple. I would still take Brodzinski out once Vesey's back. Like, it's not a knock on Brodzinski. I think he's been fine, but I think he's definitely been the weaker member out of the three on that line. So that's my answer, but I don't know if they're going to go that route. Not only speed and his stick work, but also a big guy who knows how to use his body. How many times have we seen big guys come up here and they don't know? Matt Rempe. Like, yeah, exactly. But I am going to wrap it up here. Sorry for keeping it short. There's really not a lot to dissect with this game, to be honest with you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.